All right, now I'm going to reiterate what I just said to Charlie and Cheryl, that we are going to be going over Facebook fundamentals today, which are the elements of what you should be posting, how you should be posting it, how often you should be posting it, where you can get content, where you can get pictures, what kind of posts you should be doing to have people interacting with you as a business. In about 2 weeks, we're going to have a class called Social Media Strategies. And that is going to be more in-depth on how you can grow your lead gen or do lead gen through your social media platforms. So today is Facebook fundamentals. So we're going to start off by going to facebook.com, and I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see my Facebook page. Screen. Susie is here as well.
Hi, guys.
We're going to be having,
Hi, Susie.
We're going to switch on and off. Susie has an appointment, so I'm going to take the first half and Susie will come take the second half, and then we'll be here. I'm not going to promise that it's going to reach the full 2 hours. We're going to fulfill as much as possible, and then whenever you have questions, go ahead and chime in and ask those questions and be happy to help. So the first thing we are looking at is facebook.com, and this is my Facebook. I'm going to hide this. So this is my personal Facebook page. So we can see that I have my feed from all of my friends and the
I love your puppy.
Oh, that is an
your puppy.
Alaskan, thank you. That's an Alaskan Husky dog.
Beautiful.
And you get to hold those if you go to Jeff King, and Iditarod champion, 4-time Iditarod champ. He has a Husky dog ranch there that he raises them for his Iditarod team and other Iditarod participants.
Very cool.
So that is my cutest picture, so I leave it up there. Me and the puppy. So if I go, this is my personal page, and if I want to go to my business page, I have a section right here that says your pages, and then I click on the business page that I've created. And we're gonna see that very beginning, what should be on my business Facebook page, right? Actually, first, let me ask a question. How many people, just tell me how many people you think log into Facebook every day?
100 billion? I don't know.
100 billion is a good guess. I mean, it is in the B's. About 5 billion people a day log into Facebook. 5 billion with a B. Everything else is in the millions. Facebook is in the billions. So what platform should you be on?
I'm thinking Facebook.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yes, very good. Instagram has about 500 million users, and YouTube has YouTube streams 1 billion hours of content per day. So you want to be, I mean, those are 3 things that you definitely want to be on. I'm saying focusing on Facebook, but YouTube, what, that 1 billion hours of content every 24 hours? People go be watching your stuff and then going onto your Facebook and you're connecting them together, and your Instagram. I'm not an expert in Instagram, so we have experts otherwise can teach it in the strategy section, but we're working on Facebook right now. So on my Facebook page, there's some elements that I have. We're going to talk about compliance. So compliance wise, what can you tell me that I have on here?
Broker's name.
Yep. What else?
Your licensed realtor.
I am. Yep. And there's one more element that I like to add just in case. It's not required by the state of Florida as far as I understand, but I like to have it just in case. What else?
Independently owned and operated.
Each office is independently owned and operated. That is correct. So my Facebook, as soon as I get on here, you know that I'm a realtor, what my name is, and my office. I have the office address in here, but if you Googled it, it'll also come up. Then I have each office is independently owned and operated. I like to put it in this cover photo spot. It's right in my face. I know exactly where I am as soon as I get on here. That's kind of what you want when you go onto your Facebook page. You want to know exactly who this represents, who they work for, and how can I get a hold of them. I actually designed this in Canva. I love Canva. I pay for Canva. That's how much I love it. And it's worth it.
Yes,
Totally worth it. Susie loves Canva.
we all love Canva.
Canva.
Yes.
So I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. We're going to see that I have my picture here. This is my business page profile picture. This is one of the pictures that's going to represent you as a brand. So what do you want to portray to yourself? Do you want a professional photo or do you want a selfie in there? Professional. You want a professional photo. I definitely don't want to see someone going, yeah, or what this picture is going to be like. That's not your brand. I mean, it could be your brand, but I'm guessing this market is not that market. That market is more maybe a city with a younger population. Not saying that we're an old population, but we are not in that area. We are in more of a conservative area, I would say. They'd like to see professional photos. They know if you have a professional photo that you're willing to take the time and effort to get professional photos for their properties. And that's what we want. We want to show that we are professional. We know what we're doing. We know how to help our clients because we can help ourselves. A lot of the things that we show and reflect show how we're going to actually work with our clients. Right here, I have a book now button. This says edit book now because this is where I can edit this and change it and manage it, but it'll be book now. And this is to book a time with me. There are different types of buttons you can put in here, but book now fits the most because I use this mainly for tech. I have to change this. I haven't changed this in a while. This is tech ambassador. That position is not what I am anymore. I'm the market center tech trainer, but to book time with me to discuss something.
As an agent, what would be a good?
That's a good question. So as an agent, what's a good call to action button? I'm going to click the edit button now. We're going to click edit button. And here are all of the actions that the buttons can take. So we can do a follow. A follow would be good, but that's not really what we want. We don't have gift cards. If we do, that's a weird thing. We can't start an order. We're not a chef or a cooking business. You could do a book now if you wanted to book an appointment. Get a quote. We don't get quotes. We tell them this is the price. Do you want to put an offer in and we can negotiate?
Or sellers. Market analysis.
There we go. CMA.
Possibly.
Yeah. Okay. So get a quote. Could be possibly call now.
Call now is a good
That's
one.
a good one. Contact us. This could be an okay one. I think call now is more powerful.
Yep.
I'm going to contact us. Send message, so it'll go right through Facebook. I still think call now is more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Send WhatsApp message. Still, that's the same thing as send message almost.
Yeah, if you're not connected through WhatsApp, call now is more appropriate.
Send email. I would do a send email, but call now is still powerful. Learn more. That's passive. And you could learn more from the website I'm going to send them to, but I'd rather talk to them. So I'm still going to go with call now. I think call now is winning.
We're in an instant atmosphere.
Yep.
People want answers now.
Sign up. They're not signing up for anything. Use app. You could put your link to your app in here, but I'd rather have a call to action button that'll connect me instantly. I'm not looking for passive.
Yep.
We're not playing a game. Don't play games with me. We're not watching a video and we're not shopping on the website. So there are several things you can choose, but I'm going to say this call now button is going to be your most powerful. So I would change it to make sure that says call now. And you'll choose where you'd like to receive calls. So if we come down here, it's going to give us page tips on what we can go through. These are great, but honestly, I could care less about them. You'll see the posts that I have here, and I can create a post. When you create a post, what should be in it? This is not only compliance question, but content question. Here, we can even look at one of my posts. What's in here?
Which post?
Yeah. This is actually a post from Command, one of their quick posts.
Oh, was it?
Posted through their social posting.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's it called? Come on, Blake. Sorry,
Schedule.
yes, the schedule. Yes, the scheduling.
Scheduler?
Yes, the scheduler, the social post scheduler. And it was just a quick boop. You want to share it? Yes, and it shared out for me. So what are the elements that we see in here? Oh, that I actually did. I put it. Oh, I did. Good.
Good job.
Here's the full view.
So the broker's information again,
Yep. So
licensed
this is
realtor.
definitely social. Yep. So this is for compliance. And I call this the block. The reason I call it the block is because I put all my information in one spot at the bottom in a block right there. It's just easy, and I don't have to worry about combining it into my post, which is an option you could do. You could say, hey, I'm Cheryl Blanco with Keller Williams Realty Select. If you want to buy or sell a home, give me a call. Your phone number, I'm at Keller. Yeah, I already said that Keller Williams Realty Select, and I'm a licensed realtor willing and ready to help you. So that would work too. And it's not unseen that realtors do combine that.
Yeah.
Do you save that as a picture, or do you save it as text, or what? So that you
I
can
save it
use
in
it
the Word
over and
document.
over.
I put it in a Word document and I copy and paste it. It's just easy. And now sometimes I just type it in because it's just information, quick information.
And keep in mind, whatever text you're putting into a post for your business side of things, you want it to be easy.
Mhm.
And so if you were to combine this into the words of the post or into the paragraph, you want somebody to be able to basically click on something or copy and paste it to then send an email. So making it too wordy can go overboard because people don't read,
Right. Nope.
or at least not much. It's got to be quick and easy.
And that's another thing. People don't read. So what do they do when they see a post? What are they looking at? What are they stopping
Mhm.
for?
Yep.
What are they looking
What-
at?
What about for you guys? When you are scrolling on Facebook, what catches your eye?
The graphic.
Yeah,
Yep.
a decent, a picture that's interesting.
Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
and your
absolutely.
clients are gonna feel basically the same.
Mhm. And there's one thing that does even better than pictures, and that's video. People will stop and watch a video over looking at a picture. And you want to put emojis in your posts too. I don't have any emojis in those except for the
Yep,
red
fun joke
lights.
ones.
Yeah. What is the bad joke? What's a good sign you're going to get a great price for your home, a for sale sign with my name on it? Ha ha, that's funny. It is a bad joke. You should call it a dad
It's a dad
joke.
joke.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to continue down. And you're going to see that when you continue down on the post, it's going to have a boost post sometimes. I don't necessarily recommend these. And
Nor
that's
do I.
because, yeah, it's a shotgun scatter. It's not focused. It's not going to help you really. Strangers are going to see it. Strangers that aren't even interested in looking at houses or selling them. It's going to be people that are just like, I don't know why I'm seeing this, and scroll by.
Well, the background also when it comes to a boost, and I'm not here to say that you would never do it, but I would put it lower on the task list of paying for any kind of ad. What they say is, and when I say they, it's like Facebook ads are telling us is that when you do an actual ad, not a boost, Facebook is going to reward those people that do the actual work of putting a post or an ad together. And it goes further for your money. which is something that is important. Facebook wants people to stay on the site, so they want ads that are going to perform better. So anything that will keep people on the site, Facebook will actually reward you by putting it out there further, and it costing you less in the long run.
Yep.
And in the Facebook ad world, boosting is called lazy advertising,
Oh, I didn't know that.
because you're clicking a button.
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
It's very true.
Oh, there's a baby.
Yes.
Babies and pets, very important.
Babies and pets. Why are babies and pets so important?
They're so adorable.
They are cute, but they're also not going to cause anybody to make any comments about inappropriateness on your page. We're not talking about religion or politics on your page. Your brand, I honestly, I'm going to say, even if your brand is to be one of those things, don't do it. That's you're burning 50% of the people that you could be working with. Be neutral. We don't have opinions on this or that on our business page. Save it to your personal page and don't let the world see it type deal. Let your friends and family see it. That's up to you. But your business page, you're neutral. You can work with anybody. You love everybody. Doesn't matter. That's why I like to talk about, I put pictures of babies. I put funny dog videos out there. I put cute cat videos. I talk
What about your vendor partners, Blake?
vendor partners. Give me an example. Put your vendor partners on. Yeah, absolutely. You can post about your vendor partners.
Mhm.
But you're also going to want to be careful about what they post on their stuff too.
Mhm.
Because they're going to, if someone goes to your vendor partner page and sees something that they don't like in a negative form, they're going to also attribute that to you because you recommended that.
Yep.
Sadly, that's just how it is. Your recommendation, it's your fault.
Yeah, it's just an extension of your name,
Mhm,
your
mhm.
brand.
We talk about that in customer experience, about the people you hire are a reflection of your business. So you want to choose the top of the line or the best quality that you can, and someone that you know is running their business professionally, that they're going to take care of your customers. Just like if they were on your social media, you recommended that vendor, they're also going to do something similar to you. Your brand and their brand reflect each other, kind of. So while we're going through, we're going to look at this side here. Over on the left-hand side, I have the About section. I'm filling in as much information as I can, because the more information you have, the easier it is for people to contact you or to find a way to get into touch with you. So let's look through here. My About, it's the office address. I'm never putting my personal address on my business page. I'm putting my office address. Information about me, technology training for busy realtors. If you have any tech questions, please let me know. Okay, this is the amount of likes that I have, and 353 people follow this.
That's a good ratio, by the way.
Oh, thank you. What should the ratio be?
Oh, I think that like 70% is like outstanding
Oh, good.
or over. You have a captive audience
You do.
for
I
what
held
we
them all
do.
at gunpoint and said like me. and follow me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very captive. Okay. So that I was gonna be like, well, 353 follow, but only 345 like me. Jeez.
We need more.
Okay,
focus.
yeah. My website, blakewhitboldrealestate.com, and this just redirects to my command website. I can choose to promote my website, but once again, I'd rather do an ad, like Susie said, to promote my website instead of just pressing the button. This is a Google Voice number. Google Voice was great. It was free at one point. Now you have to pay for it through Google Workspaces. So if you had a free one, it's still free, but if you need to get one, you can pay for one. And this is my response time. Typically replies within a day to any messages that are sent to me. You want to get that response time down as much as you can. A day is pretty long. If you can do within an hour, that's usually pretty good. Within minutes is even better. I could put a quote in here. Here's my email. If my business offered Wi-Fi, I can put Wi-Fi information in here. So if anybody came to visit, I could just give them the information, which our offices do have that option. I have hours of operation in here. What my categories, my title is in, so real estate agent, tutor teacher, computer training school. They can book an appointment, and then my privacy policy is in here. If I want to edit anything, I can click the pencil and it'll edit directly that line. Or I can click edit page info and it's going to bring up the full box. And I can go through and change things. So now we come down to suggested groups for your page. It's going to look at what you put in this category here, and it's going to suggest groups for you. It's also going to look into groups that you have joined personally to maybe see if you might be interested in them as well. So I have Raleigh-Durham area real estate. I'm nowhere near Raleigh-Durham, but I'm in real estate. Our Old House, a real estate thing, I'm sure. Manatee Sarasota Swap Shop. So this Manatee Sarasota Swap Shop is there because I've joined other similar pages, buy and sell groups, to be able to talk to people. And I can join them as my business page. So my personal page doesn't have to be part of it, but my business page can be. Like here's the Northport Charlotte buy sell trade. I could join that. I could join any of these. And before you post any, oh, you know what? That's going to be for the next class. I don't want to go into that too deep. Got to save some secrets. We're going to scroll down some more in my photos section, videos that I've uploaded. And right here in this post particularly, I have a contest. Have you guys ever posted contests on your Facebook page before?
No.
Contests are fun. It's fun. Get like a $25 gift card or mystery gift or something like that and hold a contest. And people will start interacting with your page just to win the contest. Like a mystery prize could be a box filled with air, but don't do that. Actually have something in there. They'll get very mad. Maybe it's a mystery prize and it should be always of good value of what you in there. Not saying price, but value. So maybe what could be valuable? What's valuable that we could give away that's not too expensive?
Well, yours, yeah, that's very valuable.
Oh, actually, this was free. This ticket was donated.
Oh.
Yeah, so we can get a donation.
Actually, yeah, so that's something that you can definitely do that. So it can either be something that costs you money. So let's say that there's a new restaurant in the general area and there's a lot of buzz about it and you were able to get and you were able to get a gift card for it. So maybe you get a $50 gift card, which would be enough for somebody to have, like one meal, or maybe two, depending on the type of place it is. And then a matter of drawing for that particular prize. So you could do that. Now, if it is an established place that you can, through your social media, because you have active social media content and you have a lot of followers, you might be able to get the restaurant to donate it to you, or maybe 50% of it is donated from that restaurant, and then have an even better price. Maybe it's $100 or $200 that you then have. And the people have to do something to actually get there. And there's a lot of examples of that I've seen where there's one that did it at Family Reunion where his team did something like they had to like all of their social media. So let's say Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. They had to become followers of all three of those. And he had them that they had to do a video. I forget what it was. Let's say it's 10 seconds of something about that area. So it's like why they love to live in blank.
Oh,
it was actually very smart. Now this was a big team, so they had a lot, and I forget what it was, but they had huge success. And the price wasn't crazy. I feel like it was like around $200.
Okay.
It wasn't a lot. In fact, I think they might have had a couple of different prices. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Why do you and it's not hard. And those people that like video, they're totally going to do it.
Yeah.
I'll do things to win a prize for $5 sometimes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep,
I
so
feel
that's
like,
an example.
yeah, that is a strategy that we just talked about.
Mhm.
And for more strategies, we're gonna have a class in 2 weeks on, you
Yep.
should be a part of. But contests are posts that you can definitely have on your Facebook. If you go to another state, though, you need to check their laws if it's okay to have contests. Some states like Michigan are not allowed to have contests like that. We're not allowed to have sweepstakes for things like that. So check your state laws before you do it. Florida, we're okay. So,
And your broker
yeah, check with the broker.
is a good person to say, here's what I want to do. Is this okay? And they'll give you the heads up, yes or no.
Yep.
Most of the time, it's a matter of the words just have to be done in a certain way.
Okay. So a lot of these are, oh, that's my sister's dog. So like I said, it's very neutral stuff, babies and dogs and cats and cute videos, funny things. But now we're also gonna come down to a little thing called Homekeeper. So Homekeeper is like an auto blog. This is a direct feed from, this is from me, and I'm just posting about a blog post from my website for people to be able to see, do you need a water leak detection? Because this is something of value and content, or value content for my followers. So it's something that could help them in the future, not necessarily talking about real estate, but it's something that they could need. So when you are posting, you need to think about the 80-20 principle. 80% is going to be something of value to your followers and to your audience. So that could be interesting articles. It could be something funny. It could be something interesting in the world of real estate, or it could be something interesting in the world or something happening around the area. So what if Lakewood Ranch is having an art fair or something along those lines? You could talk about that. And then the 20% is strictly business. So that's, I just listed so-and-so's property, or I just sold this property. This house is for sale. That's only 20%, because you want to keep your audience entertained and keep reading your posts. If you post too much, people are going to get bored, and they're just going to scroll by, because I know I do when I see something way too much. I'm like, you know what, forget it. I don't need to worry about it right now. And it will become lost in the noise. So now my next question, how often should you be posting during the week?
Once a day.
You could do once a day. I think that's a little much though. I would say 3 to 4 times on average is a good ratio. Only because once a day, you could do once a day if your content is very good. I'm going to say very good, because it's going to help them each day throughout, or maybe it's a set of, for the next 7 days, I'm going to talk about this. But if we're not in any sequential order or anything along those lines, I would say about 3 to 4 times a week, and you will still be on top of mind with your content.
And the other thing about your business page, I could stand over here. The other thing about your business page is we're in real estate, which has a lot of visual things that we do. There are a lot of pictures that could be taken. For example, when you're out showing properties or driving around, or if you have a seller, or you're really just investigating an area, you can also be taking pictures of that and videos of that. That can be more on the neutral side. So if you were, I would say, like with Blake, there are times when I might once a day actually post, as well as the 4-ish times. Either one of those can work. But imagine that you're out driving around and you are looking at beautiful homes, as well as there's outdoor spaces and landscapes and all these other things, beautiful flowers. We have a lot of nature that's around. If you're sprinkling that part in and it's not exactly about real estate, then you can still be seen as somebody who is just active in the community. And that will be seen a little bit different from your clients. So when we say that, yes, 4 is a great number, it doesn't mean that you might be doing a lot more that week because you're out investigating all of these different places. And there might be a way to just add to that. There was, an alligator that you saw crossing the street somewhere. That could be good or bad. Some people might get scared, not want to buy here, but there could be more interesting things. So teach yourself how to be a little bit more natural about your posting so that we're selling a lifestyle. We're selling a lifestyle and they're buying into who you are. So if you are posting and the posting that you're doing is about the lifestyle of living in this area and how you are a professional and also have a little bit of personality, that will probably get you pretty far. So when we talk about that there is this like formula that we're using, we want you to get to the point that the formula is so natural that there is authenticity that comes across as well.
Just like
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just like when you're learning a script, it sounds like you're someone else's words coming out of your mouth, but the more you say it, the more you do it, it's your words.
It's your words.
It's how you're doing it.
Do you guys follow what we're saying with all that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That was it. I just wanted that point to get across. There you go. Back to Blake.
More.
And we'll talk more about like homekeeper.com
Yeah.
In our strategy session, like
Yes.
where you can find content.
Absolutely. So, like right now, I'm scrolling down. These are directly from Command. This is a social post from Command. This is a video from Command. Here we go. Here's an easy poll. What color do you like in your kitchen? And then I show a picture of a kitchen. And people can respond. I reached 53 people with this and 2 engagements.
And that was organic, right?
That was, yeah, all organic. And all I asked was a question. Nobody seemed to comment, but they either liked it or they did something photo viewed. So it was photo view and another click. I don't know what that means, other click. But you can get a conversation going, and that's what you want, is that interaction on there. So I like this color. This is why I chose this picture. It's white. It's
Clean.
marble. It's clean. Other people may I like a dark blue on my cabinets instead. That'd be fine. And you can ask them, oh, what do you like about the dark blue? One thing you're going to want to stay away from though is when you ask a question, don't ask why, because that's going to put them on a defensive track. You want them, oh, what do you like about this? What else can you tell me? Never, well, why do you like this? Then the tone of my voice just changed too.
did.
Why do you like this? What do you like about this?
Caption this is a good one.
Yeah, ooh, caption this, I like that.
Mhm.
And it could be a
That could
funny
be a
thing
little bit
happening in
funny.
here, yeah. Maybe Marmaduke comes in here, I don't know.
Yeah, they have like a very unusual like centerpiece.
Yeah. There's a game that I want to play called Sell This House. And we're gonna find terrible MLS photos. And we're gonna say, okay, sell this picture, sell this house to us using this picture. And that would be something like you could put a terrible, disgusting photo of a house on there and be like, okay, sell this house to me.
Mhm.
That could be fun. I would have fun. I'd try to do that. Of course I would, because I just said I want to play that game. This is,
But it's about
this is
the
my
engagement.
backyard. It is. It's about engagement. This is my backyard. And I put it up there to make people jealous. And I want
And
them
we
to
are.
comment on it. Yep. I got 2 likes out of here. These are two Las Vegas people. So they don't have a beach. They have sand,
Yeah.
but they don't have a beach.
I'll come visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it. Come down. You like the Inglewood area.
Yeah, she got that all.
This is actually when they were rebuilding the beach. Those
Mhm.
are sand boats out there.
But you're seeing that he has sprinkled in to
Mhm.
his business page that it is not just about him being a tech trainer with
Mhm.
Keller Williams, or even him being a realtor with Keller Williams. And keep in mind, what Blake does and what I do, we're not 40 hours a week as a real estate agent per se. So find some other agents, especially if you go to other areas, like, so we have beaches here, we have nice weather. California also has beaches and nice weather, or maybe like the Savannah, Georgia area has.
Oh, I love Savannah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or there's other places, and go just search for agents in that area and look at their social medias and see who's killing it.
Look up Karen Carr.
Karen Carr,
She's a Savannah, Georgia
she is.
agent.
Yep, she
She's a
does.
KW agent.
She is. She's Keller Williams agent, and also she is a YouTube trainer
Yes.
as well.
She has
I
a
take
book.
her class.
Yes, she starts off with a book for sale on Amazon. We'll talk about this later. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. I like talking about that stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. But find other people who are doing this. You guys are new. So find somebody who is doing it that you can follow to see how they're doing it and how they're getting engagement, and respectfully copy and replicate.
Mhm.
You know, just in a way, make it your own, but you start to see trends on how they did it. They started off new as well at some point, and they didn't get to where they are without being where you are and being new. Okay,
Yep.
back to you.
Okay. So I believe an element of humor should be in
That's
your posts.
That's so cool.
That's part of my brand because that's who I am as a person. I like to involve humor in what I do. So I put in a house that's very damaged. This has got the spider. Okay, you can only imagine on how they got the spider, but it's funny.
Yeah, funny is good.
You want to try to trigger an emotion within your audience for them to remember it. Emotions are very powerful. Humor and anger are very powerful. Try to stay away from anger. Go towards happiness, humor, helpful. Oh, helpful is not
All
an
the
emotion.
positive.
Yeah, all the positive emotions are what you want to go after. The easy ones are the negative ones. Don't go easy. Don't do it.
Mhm. And it's sometimes it's easy to go into the negative part. That's the impression.
Oh, stand next to me.
Aw, be close to me.
Yeah.
If you think of like how it, because we're not just talking about the politics and religion, we're also talking about like, I can't believe this house is for sale, or I can't
Yeah.
believe that this is the photo that they have up to try to sell this house. That's the other side of being negative. So keep that in mind. And I do see that type of thing, which if I were the listing agent of the house, or if I knew that seller, or if I was that seller, I would be horrified that somebody's basically making fun of them. And so while you may, and I'm not saying this about you guys, but just think of the big picture of it, that we're actually making fun of somebody by doing something like that. And that's just not cool.
So forget about the game I talked about earlier, because that's exactly
Well,
what that is.
No, but you could do that in
Well,
a,
there are some photos that are so like, why?
there can be the outrageous.
Yes,
part.
it would have to be an outrageous one.
Yeah, you can have the
Like
outrageous
this
versus
got the spider one. Sell that house
that's
to me.
totally outrageous.
Sell that to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you could do it.
Okay,
I think because you're
yeah.
sensitive enough that I think that you would do it.
Yes. Yeah. There's.
good
It
way.
won't. Yeah. It won't be.
I'm talking about
wouldn't
like,
be
you know,
me.
what were they thinking
Yeah,
when they
no.
picked out that sofa? Well, maybe they love that sofa,
That's true.
you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, that
There,
kind
there
of
are
thing.
some instances where the house is like everything is carpeted, including the table.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, what happened?
I get
Here's
tagged on
another
that
dog
27 like worst pictures once in a while.
Yes. Yes.
It'll come up this way.
Oh,
What do you think
yeah.
about this?
Yeah. Okay, so what's our next? Back onto the other side, onto the left-hand side. If I keep scrolling down, we're going to see the, wait, is that the front? That's the top of it. So this is the left-hand side at the top. There are Facebook tools that you could use. So posting a job, maybe you're ready for an assistant. This would be a place to post if you'd like to. You can also post on Indeed, ZipRecruiter. There's different, LinkedIn. There's different places to do it, but Facebook allows you to post a job offer, not job offer, but a job opportunity in here.
You could also use that for your profit share. If you're looking at,
Oh,
if you're looking at recruiting agents, you could position, just be clear that it's not for you and your team, unless you're ready for that. But if you wanted to, you know, maybe you have a really large audience that's on your business page. and say, my office is always looking for new agents or, people looking to get into real estate. So think outside the box. We have the ability with Keller Williams to not only sell real estate, but we can get involved in profit share and a lot of other things. And sometimes there's people that are just looking for new jobs. So why not?
Is there any canned ads for the Keller Williams Realty School yet?
They were tweaking something right before Christmas, but there are some, yes.
Well, let's go take a look in designs.
And you can post this once in a while on your business page too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah. Oh, these are mine.
Oh, those are your,
Yeah, let me go
never mind.
into that. Oh, stop. So K-Score is going to have their stuff inside of designs, inside of command. And that's going to be, I think it's the first one. Here we go. General, you can post this. This has already been approved by legal. So if it's in designs, it's been approved to be able to post. We are a pre-licensing state. So these can also go up there. We are KW prep state. These can go in there. We are not Minnesota or New York or Texas. So I'm not even going to go in there. But the rest of these, you can absolutely post in your social media.
Mhm.
And your wording should be, let me know so we can set up an appointment with whoever the K-Score admin is, so they can have a meeting with them.
And in the Lakewood Ranch office, it is me or Brian Litz.
There we go. Okay. So here's a video. This is just about a negative carbon footprint. It's real estate related. It's actually pretty interesting if you watch through it. I kind of got sucked in. And it's all about how they recycle things to make that negative carbon footprint. They recycle, let's see, what's it? Hemp, lime, and water to create eco-friendly building blocks. And it's built like a giant Lego. So imagine a Lego house. Yeah, that is. I want to see one of those printed houses, the 3D printer houses. One of those are just completed, like a little neighborhood for homeless people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they
Okay.
built houses for them.
That's good.
That's what I have the basics for.
Yeah.
Susie, what?
Um,
I can show them where to find pictures and
oh, yeah.
some
Let's do
articles.
that. Yep.
All right, so pictures, generally, unless you take them, usually have a licensing issue. You want to get licensed either for the public domain or royalty-free photos. And I have a website that I like to go to, and I'm going to show that to you. That is pexels.com, and they have really good ones. Pexels.com, and they are royalty-free stock photos that you can use for business purposes, and it says it right in there. I'm just going to type in beaches. I'm going to say beach. And here are beach photos that come up. And I've used this one, I've used this one, this one, this one, this one, this one.
You've used a lot.
I've used a lot of them, and I edit them inside of Canva. If you can have Canva for free as long as you're uploading your own photos, and you can use the tool still inside of it. So, and it'll say if it's extra or not, but it's worth it. I love Canva.
Mhm.
Let's see what
Hey.
else. Snow.
Pexels is one. Another one that I use more than Pexel is Unsplash.
Unsplash.com.
Yes, Unsplash. Sure, maybe.
Okay. We'll find out.
Yeah.
There we go. Ooh, okay.
And they are going to beaches, and you'll see it's a slightly different feel of the photos.
Oh, these
Well,
are on stock.
Some of them are similar. Yeah, good. You're gonna go down a little bit.
Oh, here we go. Beaches. Oh, okay.
It's slightly different.
Yeah. This looks like my house almost.
Yeah, see? There's a lot of similarity.
So, ooh, this is pretty. If you're ever looking for free photos, let's look up dogs.
Mhm.
There we go. I'd use that photo.
That's a great picture.
This is a good caption. This right here.
Mhm.
I'm running to my new home.
Oh, yes.
That looks like my parents' dog right there. Yeah, see these dog buddies. Like I'm thinking like, oh, capture these photos, all of these. There we go. Boom. These are cute. I'm going into cuteness overload right now. So
We're all happy.
Unsplash. I
Yeah.
have to remember that one.
But the point with this is, and there's probably like 3 or 4 other ones that are big organizations that have free photos that you can use. So if you are stuck and you're thinking, all right, I've used the photos that I have, where else can I go? Here is a way for you to find some other photos that you can start adding to your page. And even if you look at this using the dog idea, so let's say that we're in the month of December. If you scroll down just a little bit, there's like a witch's cap or a couple, no, actually, I'm sorry, go back up. Yeah, there you go. There's like a couple you could use throughout the month of October, let's say, 2 of those photos, and they could just be like general photos.
I think these are the high stock ones.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
still, if you could still find something.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes, that's the point.
Dog
Oh, there you go.
Dog holiday. Oh, here we go. See puppy and
Oh,
presents.
exactly.
This is yeah,
That's so cute.
super cute. They're free to use.
But that helps you with like some of the content.
So if you want to link to blogs, I use a blog called Keeping Current Matters, which is a real estate blog, and they have a free, it says free real estate blog, and you can copy and paste that stuff. I just kind of link to it. You can pay extra to have it branded to you to say, yes, I wrote this, but I didn't write it, so I don't really care. So what is it?
And honestly, nobody else cares
No,
who
they
wrote
don't.
it. It's not important to the average consumer who wrote it.
No, it's not. So I just Google Keeping Current Matters. Oh, it's keepingcurrentmatters.com. This is the blog here, and I click on real estate blog at the top. And this is all free. So avoid the rental trap in 2022. I actually saw somebody send this article to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See?
How much do you need for your down payment? It's a Happy New Year one. And I'm going to open this up, expert insights on 2022 housing market. I could either link it up here and say, are you interested in knowing what experts are saying is going to be on the horizon for 2022? And I'd link the article.
Yeah.
That's a content post. That's easily done. And I could even have that scheduled out. We'll talk about that in the strategy section. Well, I think that covers the fundamentals for me, Susan. Do you have anything else?
Well, it kind of does. So how are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. You gave me some more stuff to use here.
Good. As long as you got one thing from it, I'm happy.
There you go. It's switch places
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
let's
want.
switch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to say, because you're still, are you logged in?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go to my business page. Oh. I could easily put my glasses on and that would probably be a little bit better.
Have I not liked it? I did like it. That's right.
You better like it.
It's liked.
You liked it.
You're good.
So I'll talk a little bit about what I have done, because I do have some real estate business that I do, which will make things just slightly different. But I've branded myself, for lack of a better word, in more of a community type of sense. So there are agents out there that have taught social media classes and so forth, and there are a couple of them that I have followed. And so I went the route of doing more of a community type of page. So it's not highlighting me as a real estate agent, it's highlighting me as a person that is in the area. So the difference is Now, I still have my information that is here, and they can easily go to my website, but I spend more time on what's happening in the area in general. Now you will see I also am not posting as frequently on my business page as I do on my personal page, which I do want to just talk just a little bit about both of those things and how I tie them in. So what I do is I will find things that come to, well, they actually come to me because I have signed up as a Google alert for things that are happening in Lakewood Ranch. And there's two things I do for building permits. And if you're not familiar, I'm not going to go into how to sign up for a Google alert here, but you can Google alert, and you can actually get an email whenever it happens. So as soon as it's posted, or you can do it like once a week, of anytime that there is a new restaurant that has something. So it's all about new restaurants. So if they have the words new restaurant Lakewood Ranch, I'm going to get an email that tells me something about the new restaurant. I also have for permits, and that will be for new things that happen in Lakewood Ranch as well. So when somebody gets a permit or files for a permit, then I typically am going to get it. It's all for words. Yeah, so it's all through the word searches. So it doesn't mean that I'm going to get every single time that there's a word permit. I'm not getting that, but I'm getting it if it has something to do with like restaurants and so forth. And so when that happens, I will usually, and I'm not the only one that does this because I've seen it happen through other people that I'm connected to that are doing it in other areas. And I'll see, or well, also even around here, and I'll see it at similar times. So in this instance, there was a new library that was being, that broke ground. So I wanted, it's good content for the area. I did not get any likes for this, but people still saw it. So we sometimes get caught up in whether there's likes or comments on something, and that's not necessarily a gauge for whether or not people are seeing it. Now, you still want to be aware of what's happening with that. Now, what I do get engagement in tends to be things that I have done some type of an ad around. So here was a listing that I had, we got that. Here was another listing. And then I also have some things that are more about like the area. So if I go down just a little bit, I was more active on this. Let's go down just a little bit. Here. Okay. I'm going to go down to this area because this has more, when I was doing this more on a systematic basis. Free photo, by the way. Free photo.
I love it.
Yep, free photo. And it was on July 4th. So that was my July 4th post that I did. I got a couple of comments. I also got a couple of shares. And then I also got an awful lot of likes and basically likes and loves about this type of a post. So when I was being active on this as a business page, and in January, I will start being more active as well. And you guys will see this because it's one of my New Year's resolutions is to be more consistent on my page. But you will see that there is a lot of activity on that. Now, let me just keep going. I also did something, this is in Canva, by the way, it's a video in Canva, and I did an ad as well. Did I do an ad on this one? I take that back. I did not do an ad on this one. But if you see, again, 9 people were engaged, 1 comment and 1 share. I also did a list of events that were happening for July 4th. So it was July 1st. There was an ad that I did with this as well, but that's just not showing up here because it shows up a little bit separately. Now, when I was doing this more active, and again, you're welcome to like my page and you will see more things happening in January. I was doing more of these posts and you'll start to see some consistency. I use this like pinkish purple color, which I'll probably be changing, so I don't know if I love it anymore. But anyway, there was some consistency that went along with it.
And what do you call that consistency, Susan?
Branding. Branding.
Branding is your friend.
Also, it's all around Lakewood Ranch. It's all around Lakewood Ranch. piece of real estate business, some information about a local business, again, branding,
Looks like a juice cookbook almost.
doesn't it?
Yeah, or a juice.
This was a free photo that I got from somewhere. I don't remember where it was. This was a listing. The outside of the house, not that pretty, which is why there was a kitchen photo. It was a Father's Day. That was my father. Yeah. Barber shop. So businesses, there's just a lot of things around Lakewood Ranch. Now, this is, again, doing like an update of some sorts. This is when I first started with that class that I took. So there was a way for people to get a list of events that were happening. So if you're looking for engagement, there are ways that you can get engagement. And we will talk about more from a strategy perspective when we have the strategy class, but having people sign up for something that you're giving them is a way for you to boost engagement.
And it builds your list of database.
And it builds your database. Absolutely. So for something like this, what I found is when I did it, I got about, for $30, I'd end up with about 40. So it was less than $1 per person that I ended up getting.
That's good.
Yeah, it was very good. Now, that doesn't mean that they turned into a real estate sale. You have to understand this is long-term. It builds credibility for who you are in a community. And so they see you and you then are a go-to person for business. So I'm gonna give you two examples of what this means in the turnaround, or how you can turn this around and what this can mean to you from a business perspective. So there are a number of real estate agents who have done things like this. So there's an agent that was in my office when I was in Boca Raton. And what she did is she built a page. This is where the whole community thing started. I'll tell you, I totally stole this from somebody else. And she's lovely. And what she did, she was actually did a class with Gary Keller in, I want to say, I don't know, it was Mega Camp or Family Reunion. And she talked about her page. So she started in real estate about a year before I moved. So it was like 2013, she became an agent in the Boca Raton area. She started a community page. She doesn't allow any real estate agents to be on the page. So I'm not on this page. I know her philosophy because I actually saw it before she started kicking real estate agents off. But what she does is it is truly a go-to page of the area, mostly moms. Doesn't mean that there's not dads out there that are on there. And in fact, I think that she allows anything, but it started off more of like the mom's page. And it is solely about being an expert in Boca Raton. There are restaurants, openings, and community events that are happening, and it is posted there, as well as in 100 other places probably. But she has done it in a concise and in a fun way to where people are using her page as a very interactive source. She is a top agent. I mean, she has a team. She went from being a solo agent to then being a top agent in these years. And it is almost solely from her community involvement through her Facebook page.
And we're going to talk about that in strategy.
We'll talk about that in the strategies. And there are other agents that have done that as well. You just need to have consistency on your page and have a platform where you are a professional. So that gives you a little bit about what mine look like. I do want.
Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I
Charlie.
like Susie too, so there you go. Hey, I gotta go, guys. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Hey,
All
thanks
right.
for joining us.
I just wanted to finish off. Thank you, Charlie. What I'll finish off, because I think that where we are, we could probably kind of like stop
Yeah.
pretty much. But one thing is pay attention to your, this is not your business page, this is your personal page, that you do feed in to your personal page some business. Most of us will have business from the two combined. And just to show you like a little bit, I know, That's
Sorry.
sad. I was like, come on, 100, make it to 100. I was worried. I do sprinkle in a little bit about real estate, but if you notice, this is not a picture of a house. And I did that on purpose for two reasons. First of all, I had posted when it was a new listing, and I wanted to have something. This was by far, is for a story for another day, by far the worst listing I ever had in my entire life, the worst seller I had ever worked with in my entire life, probably the horrible human being I've ever worked with in my entire life. And I should have been drinking this. Well, I won't say this on video. Never mind, I'll leave that. But the title company gave me a bottle of wine. The title company knew how bad it was, and they said that I deserved the bottle of wine. But the point is that it is still something about real estate, but it's not blaring in your face. It is truly, it is a subtle, yes, I'm a real estate agent, but this was a whole lot more about the fact that it was horrible. I didn't say it was a horrible experience. I just said it was tough. So keep that in mind, though, that you are adding real estate sprinkled in. There's got to be something else that I have for real estate. Hello, there's got to be something else. I'm gonna say there's one more. Okay, well, I'm sure that there is something in here. But do make sure that you are sprinkling in your business into your personal page as well. Cheryl, do you have any questions about the basics of our business pages?
No, I really haven't launched mine yet because I'm still working on it.
Oh, okay. I thought you had started that. Okay.
I started it, but I got away from it. I've been focused on other stuff. So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, this
But
will
I'm
be
planning on
something
getting
for
back at
you.
it.
Is this something that you're going to do for January? I'm looking for a commitment.
Yeah, I have to get my professional picture done. I was going to get it done at the end of last year, and I had to cancel because of my buyers had an issue. So I got to try to reschedule that.
Okay. Well, very good. So this is probably a good time for us to stop on this one and tune in for 2 weeks from now. Look on the calendar, and we will do the next phase of Facebook. Okay.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks
All
for
right,
joining
bye,
us,
guys.
Cheryl.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.